This is Stay Paid, a sales and marketing podcast on a mission to help you close more deals and retain more business.
Welcome to another Silver Dollar episode of Stay Paid. My name is Joshua Stike.
And I'm Luke Akery.
And Luke, we're going to start today with a story.
Ooh.
Story time.
I like it.
A woman once asked her daughter what she wanted to be when she grew up.
She say a pony?
The daughter.
No.
A raccoon.
That's what my brother Dan wanted to be, a raccoon.
That's a different episode. Yeah, we're going to explore that a little bit later. But the daughter, clearly conflicted, said that she wanted to be a doctor. Her mother was happy about this wish, but noticed her daughter's hesitance. She asked why her daughter did not sound sure about her goal. The daughter replied, "I would like to be a doctor, but that means that I will be studying until I am 30. Her mother calmly responded, "Well, daughter, if you're going to be 30 anyway, you might as well be a doctor." And that is what we're going to talk about today a little bit. This idea of,
that's so good.
How did you phrase it in the chat? We're a month in, you've got 11 months to go in the year.
Yep.
You may have started off with some resolutions.
And you maybe have already failed.
You may have already failed, but that doesn't mean that it's too late to start.
It's never too late. And I always think what happens to us in life is our failures become our excuses, and they literally lead us into paralysis. Because what happens to people, and I read a quote today, you were on the 5 a.m. club, right? And I read the quote that says, life's not fair, get used to it, right? By Bill Gates. And I think it's along the same vein of what happens is, man, when you mess up, when you're beaten down, when you failed, when you haven't done something that you wanted to do, what sets in immediately is you become the greatest salesman on the face of the planet, and you start selling yourself on why you can't achieve. You start selling yourself on everything else that there's to blame. And a big thing that happens to people right now is because they failed at their goals, because we're a month in and you're not where you want to be, maybe January didn't start off where it needs to be, you immediately start counting the year as a loss, counting the quarter as a loss, whatever it is. And this episode was purely just going, hey, snap out of it. Snap out of it, because you're never too late to start. And it doesn't matter. I love that story, because oftentimes what happens to people is they think they're too late to start their dreams, to start that new venture, to go out on their own and do a job. In fact, I'm part of the insurance syndicate group, and Tony Merwin, who's a big time insurance guy, and he's been in the industry, probably 2 decades. He just left his long-term job helping people with, helping agencies and helping agents to go start his own agency. And I was watching a video of him talking about the emotions he feels. And, he's got to be, in his late 50s, something like that. And he's starting out fresh and brand new, and just the emotions of what that means and the fear. But here's the thing. What was it? The KFC guy started at 69? Right?
64. He was 64 when he opened his first chain. His first KFC chain.
Well, there you go. And look where KFC went to. You're never too old to start. It's never too late to start. But the problem is you make the excuse because of the failure, and your misery actually gives you a reason to exist. And I'm not sure if that resonates with people right now, but a lot of times your misery gives you a reason to exist, and misery loves company. So we try to always bring people into our misery. And what I tell people is you can sit there and you can complain. You can sit there and create excuses. You can sit there and tell yourself all the reasons why you can't do something, or you can get up and do something about it.
Yeah, exactly. So we kind of put together some notes here on if this message resonates with you and you're having trouble starting something, or maybe you're feeling guilty because you didn't start the thing you wanted to, and how to start something new. The first thing is what you're talking about right now. The first bullet point is to face the fear. So you want to shift your focus away from why you're afraid of doing something to why you shouldn't be afraid and all of the reasons you will succeed. This quote was from Julian Cameron. She says, "I'm too old is something we'll tell ourselves to save ourselves from the emotional cost of the ego deflation involved in being a beginner."
What episode number is this?
425.
425. You and I have talked about this often over the years. We've been at this, 5 years, 6 years?
Yeah, this is our 5th year.
We've interviewed 250 plus amazing entrepreneurs and producers and people who are top of their craft, right?
Yep.
And what have we said over and over again? These people don't know what they're doing.
Yes.
It is incredible. I know that sounds like I'm knocking them. I'm really not. It's really an amazing thing when I step back and I look and I go, oh my gosh, The biggest thing that this podcast has revealed to me is all of these top producers have no idea what they're doing.
Yeah.
And they literally, the skill that they have is they do it anyways.
Yeah.
And when they get beat down, when they fail, they keep going, and they have this blind optimism, this blind belief that I will achieve. And the truth is, that is how achievement is made, right? We all hear that the road to success is paved with failures, right? It is truly in this blind optimism of going, hey, look, I failed. It doesn't matter. Tomorrow's a new day. The sun comes up in the morning. I'm going to start fresh, and I'm going to start today. And that ability is a gift, and it's a trained discipline to tell yourself, I'm not going to allow myself to sit here and wallow. I'm not going to allow myself to cry for myself. I'm going to get up. It's a new day. I'm going to start today.
Yeah. There's an acronym, FEAR. I'm sure people have heard this, but there's two ways you can kind of read FEAR. One is F everything and run, which is like, okay, this makes me nervous. I don't want to try this. The other one that you want to embrace is this idea of face everything and rise. So take those things that you're unsure of, that you're afraid of, and face them, and you will rise. The second point that we want to make is to make it a priority. So this is exactly what you're saying. Make it a priority in your mindset, but also make it a tangible priority. Put time on your calendar to achieve the thing that you want to achieve. Get an accountability partner. We've said this before, like post it on social media, make it public so that you are now held accountable or feel guilty, I guess, in a sense, if you don't actually follow through with that and update people on your journey. The other one is you just got to start, right? Break it down into manageable steps. It's the best way to eat an elephant, one bite at a time. Don't worry about eating the elephant in one full swallow. You just want to take manageable steps for yourself, but don't procrastinate by over planning. So this is the same thing you're saying. Jump in head first. Everything we know how to do, we had no idea how to start. So just take that first step and keep going.
Well, I always tell people, like in life and in business, you need to act, track, and pivot.
Yeah.
Like that is the circle of life in business, right? Is you take action, you track your results, and you pivot. Right? Because you're never going to probably be able to do the same thing consistently for the long term, because technology changes, things change, environments change, all those things. So you constantly got to be taking action, tracking what you do, because you can't hit or you can't improve what you don't measure, right? So you got to track what you do, and then you pivot. And it's that constant cycle. And when you start embracing life that way, that, hey, look, failure is part of the game, pivoting is part of the game, that is such a freeing mindset.
Yeah, it's the idea in sales, even like getting the no is the point, because then you can get enough no's, you get to the yes.
Yep.
But so if you get to enough roadblocks and you pivot enough, you're eventually going to get through where you're trying to break through.
But you got to get deep, right? You got to go beyond the surface level of why do you have inaction? Like, what is the true thing that is causing inaction? And I don't think people pause enough to actually dig deep and ask what I call the 5 whys, right? The 5 whys is you say, hey, why am I causing inaction? And you come for the first answer in your mind and you go, but why that?
Yeah.
Then you come to the second answer, but why that? And you go deeper. The third answer, but why that? What causes that? And you'll get really, really deep to some personal insecurities that were formed most of the time. And I'm not a therapist at all. From childhood, that have happened to you, that have been deep insecurities, that have caused you not to be able to take action. And until you deal with those, you'll never overcome in your life. And most people, they want to go and be so busy but not productive, because busyness causes noise, and noise allows them not to actually get deep with themselves.
Yeah. I mean, if you're listening to this and you're thinking, well, why would I want to start something new at this point? Well, look, here's some tangible benefits. You become more confident whenever you learn a new thing or start a new venture. You become more curious. Curiosity is a circle. The more curious you become about something new, the more curious you become about other things. It actually allows you to become more creative, right? So that actually, we talked about this with myelin, where it actually works the neuro pathways in your brain, which then create more creativity, helping you achieve the things you want to achieve. Your focus and improves. And one of the best things for your business, your social circle expands. When you get into something new and you start working with new people, your social circle expands, you find new business opportunity and more success there as well.
Yeah, and I think I would encourage everybody that you're not alone. Every single person goes through this, myself included. The amount of failure that I faced, the amount of times I haven't been able to keep my goals, you'd be ashamed of me. But you can't let that stop you. You're not alone, and don't let your self-doubt get to you. And here's a great quote that I think is really powerful when it comes to it's never too late to start. It says this: it's never too late to get started on a new path. Let your past or the opinions of others let not your past or the opinions of others hold you back from going after what you truly want. You are the captain of your ship, so steer yourself in the direction of your dreams. And I love that because everybody who is successful in their life takes ownership of their life. Mm-hmm. You must take ownership of your life. You are the captain of your ship. And once you understand you're the captain, you're the person who has to steer the ship, then you actually have responsibility and you can cause change.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for listening. You can head on over to staypaidpodcast.com for the show notes and the video of this episode. If you're looking for ways to support the show, head on over to remindermedia.com/shop. You can get some cool merch like this hat that I'm wearing, this sweatshirt, your t-shirt,
my t-shirt, maybe. I don't know if this is on. This might be a
Might be
Luke
a limited
Acree exclusive. I don't know.
There you go. Remindermedia.com/shop. If you do pick up some merch, make sure to tag us on Stay Paid Podcast.
Yeah,
we'd love to see that. If you, the best way to help out the show is simply to share this episode with a friend. If you know someone in your life that needs to hear this, share this episode with them. Luke, if Whole Foods sells If Whole Foods sells sliced apples, is it considered false advertising? Whole Foods.
Oh, that's great. That was a good one.
Got the groan from you.
Nice.
You want to hear a different joke about construction?
Let's do another one. Yeah,
I'm still working on it. If you want to get hold of me or Luke, you can email us at podcast@remindermedia.com, or you could follow us on Instagram. We are at Stay Paid Podcast. On TikTok, we are at StayPaid_podcast. For this episode of Stay Paid, I'm Joshua Stike.
Guys, and I'm Luke Acree. And look, we're a month down. You got 11 more months to go. The game is still fresh. And ultimately, you play an infinite game, right? Everything else is time-bound, but you're playing an infinite game, right? It doesn't end at the end of this year, but you must start today. And if you want to change your outcome, you got to change the input. So start today, get refreshed. It doesn't matter where you've ended up with your goals at the end of this month. Start again fresh. It's a new day tomorrow. Remember, the difference between top producers and mediocre producers is top producers take action. Take action on that today.